malice and aforethought, considering several ingredients like the type of weapon used, the nature of the injury, and part of the body affected, as well as the demeanor of the accused persons in the course of the trial. Nkea went on to state that the use of brutal force was clearly noticed in the severity of the wounds sustained by the deceased, who died of a head injury resulting from a heavy blow dealt by the third accused with a broken bench. This evidence, according to the judge, proves the intention and unlawful act of the third accused beyond doubt. On the issue of conspiracy, the presiding judge revealed that prosecution must establish a coordinated effort towards a common goal by the accused persons. The second accused wasn't fighting with the deceased, Nkea submitted, noting that there is no incriminating evidence against him. The fourth accused was separated from the scuffle by others. This evidence, according to the presiding judge, shows the absence of any conspiracy between the second and fourth accused persons, both of whom he said took positive steps to stop the fight. Justice Nkea further revealed that the first accused didn't conspire or participate in the murder as well. The case against the third accused was satisfactorily discharged by a prosecution, according to the presiding judge, who stated that the arguments of self-defense and provocation are irrelevant. The third accused was not even involved in the brawl with the deceased, yet joined in by thumping Sewugi with a broken bench when his intervention was unsolicited, the presiding judge revealed. In the absence of any incriminating evidence, the presiding judge discharged and acquitted Babakar Seymour, Alhaji Mane, and Aliou Cissé of all charges against them, whilst convicting the third accused, Sirifo Mane, for murder. In the mitigation which quickly followed, lawyer Lamin Camara asked the court to temper justice with mercy on a client he described as a young first offender, who is the second of two brothers wholly responsible for their families. Delivering his sentence, the presiding judge stated that society needs to be protected at all times against such crimes. Sirifo Mane was sentenced to death, which is the maximum punishment for murder. The presiding judge further revealed that his manner of death will be determined by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Ibrahim Jata, GRTS.
Hundreds of members of the Bojang, Manka, and Bajan families living in the Fonyis and Casamas recently carried out a voluntary exercise on a farm that belongs to the president's mother, Aja Fatou Assombi Bojang. Our Babakar Camera saw the volunteers in action, and he now reports.
They numbered in the hundreds and composed of both the old and young. Taking frontline positions in the president's back to the land call is the Bojang, Manga, and Bajan families.
As the president has been saying, let us go back to the land. That is, let us grow what we eat and eat what we grow. This is in response to that. We have been farming almost annually every year. We have to come to respond to his call. And this time around, we have people from Casamas who also came to join us with the Bojang, Manga, Bajan that used to come almost every year.
Koenam Bojang, Manga, Bajan.
On behalf of the Bojang, Manga, and Bajan families, both here and Casamance, I express my delight at the response to my nephews. That is President Jammeh's back to the land call. I am overwhelmed with your support.
The volunteers came from far and near and have the distinctive knack of using physical labor in response to their brother, son, and cousin. That is President Jammeh's call for Gambians to go back to the land and grow what they eat.
The reason for our response to the President's mother's call of going back to the land is our love for the country. The President has vowed to develop this country, and we are standing by him and his mother to be part of that process. Our presence here is due to the peace and harmony between Senegal and the Gambia as one family. We are here to work for our development. We believe in our sweat and nothing else.
The farm earmarked for mixed cropping took the traditional approach of farming, with Grts flanking their kinsmen while they undertake the ambitious initiative of maintaining household food security. Babakar Camara, GRTS.
You can follow those stories on our websites at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories right after this short break.
The world in your pocket.
The world on your mobile.
Get the latest top stories from all over the world directly from Al Jazeera Network straight to your AfriCell line. Breaking news,
political news,
and sport news.
Be the first to get the latest on everything happening around the world by SMS on your AfriCell line.
To subscribe, type SUB and send it by SMS to 7272.
And stay up to date with the latest news from Al Jazeera Network.
All the latest news stories and headlines from across the globe.
For $1 per day, only on your AfriCell line.
Welcome back. South Sudan, the world's youngest independent state, is celebrating its first independence anniversary against the backdrop of a looming humanitarian catastrophe in the country. Thousands of celebrants watched as the country's military led a national parade in the capital, Juba. President Salva Kiir hailed his fellow citizens for the successful liberation of their land, but added South Sudan still remains economically fragile. We have more in this report.
On Monday, South Sudan marked its first year of independence. A military parade and official speeches were planned for the celebrations as the world's youngest country showed its unity. Crowds came out to attend the celebrations and listen to the president speak. Salva Kiir praised the liberation of the South Sudanese people but said that it was an ongoing process and that they were still not economically independent. Despite the festive atmosphere, the country is facing a very serious humanitarian crisis. Since South Sudan's independence, hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced and are now living in refugee camps. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Desmond Tutu condemned the humanitarian situation.
Peace, 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 peace. That's all we want. I mean, that's all that these dear people want, and that. And it is possible.
But peace is difficult to imagine as fighting continues in South Kordofan and Blue Nile State along the border between the two countries. The Sudanese army and the military branch of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement are fighting over disputed borders along oil-rich regions. There is widespread malnutrition in this refugee camp located in Blue Nile State. 120,000 people have already fled to South Sudan to escape fighting and reach other camps. I lost one of my children and all of my cattle. My two sisters were arrested by the army. Life is very hard. On top of this massive influx of refugees, South Sudan is also facing a serious economic crisis. Juba shut down oil production in order to prevent Khartoum from exploiting it without paying taxes. Now, in addition to the conflict, the country has a serious lack of petrol.
The International Police Organization has opened a new regional branch in Ivory Coast. The Abidjan office of Interpol opened at a time of mounting security problems in the West Africa region. The office is expected to house security personnel from the 15 ECOWAS member states and Mauritania. We have more on that in this report.
Côte d'Ivoire flag blew alongside the blue and white of Interpol. The regional office of the International Police was inaugurated in Abidjan on Saturday. It's the second start to this West African office that opened in 1994. Today, more than ever, West Africa faces many security challenges.
The
trafficking of arms, of drugs, of people, and terrorism. I am convinced that this new regional office here in Abidjan will play an important role in overcoming these challenges.
The office oversees 16 countries. This includes 15 ECOWAS members and Mauritania. Arms proliferation in these countries is often the root cause of instability and criminal activity.
We are a country that has just come out of a crisis where there was a circulation of arms in our neighboring countries, such as Liberia and Sierra Leone, who had about 15 years of war with arms proliferation in the area.
These offices are well equipped to soon welcome police and custom officers from all over the region. The fight against criminal activity is based above